Welcome, Joslyn Center Facebook Live fans. My name is Jack Newby. I'm Executive Director of the Joslyn Center. I want to welcome you to our interview Friday. In a few minutes, we'll be doing an interview regarding advanced planning. But before we get there, I want to let you know some of the things that are coming up here at the Joslyn Center. Our first fundraiser of the year, and it's an official Modernism Week event, is on Thursday, October 13th from 6 to 8 p.m. It's called Catch the Wave, and it's at the Wave House in Palm Desert, which is actually right around the corner from the Joslyn Center. And the Wave House is a very unusual mid-century modern style home, and it's called the Wave House because the roof actually looks like a wave. It's on the National Register of Historic Places. It's a rare opportunity to see this home. It has not been open for tours for quite a while. And you can get tickets through the Modernism Week website, and we're one of the first events for the upcoming Modernism Week throughout the Valley. Also, we have coming up our Aging Mastery program. That's coming up Tuesdays and Thursdays, 1 to 3. Our next session will be in November. We're in the October sessions right now. Also coming up next week is our Brain Boot Camp, and that's a way to boost your memory and brain health. It was developed by the UCLA Longevity Center, and that's coming up October 12th and 19th. So if you'd like information about either Aging Mastery or Brain Boot Camp, you can call Jose, and that's at 760-340-3220, extension 117. Also coming up, we have our art class with Valentina. That's on Thursdays from 9 to noon. We need reservations. It starts November 3rd. We provide easels. So if you've always wanted to find out about your internal artist, this is a great chance to do that. We've started a new program called Morning Bites, and it's every Monday and Thursday. And so that's a new day, Thursday instead of Wednesday. And that's in the lobby from 9 to 11. So it's a great chance to socialize, have some healthy food, or maybe some sweets for your sweet tooth. And that's Morning Bites every Monday and Thursday in the lobby at the Joslyn Center from 9 to 11. Also social bingo on Mondays from 1 to 4. And our Mindful Living with Elise, and that's a virtual class, and that's coming up, that's on Tuesday, September 27th, from 9 to 9:45. And if you want to register for our virtual classes, you can go to joslyncenter.org, look under programs, and you'll see the virtual classes tab. And all we need is your email. And that way we can register you and let you know what's coming up in terms of our virtual classes. And lawn bowling is back here and starting in full force here at the Joslyn Center. We have the only lawn bowling green in the Coachella Valley. And that's Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. So if you want to get into lawn bowling or learn what it's all about, join our lawn bowling group Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 7 o'clock, and you will find out more about lawn bowling. And this is the season for bridge. So we have bridge lessons with Dave, Tuesday beginner, Thursday intermediate, 10 to noon. And another exercise class is our calisthenics with Amira, and that's Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 to 11. So the Joslyn Center has over 85 programs and classes per week. You can find something, I'm sure, to get involved with. So we'd love to see you here at the Joslyn Center and enjoy our classes and programs. So let's get started with our interview Friday. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Robert Strong. I've known Robert for a number of years. He's with Forest Lawn. Robert, how are you this morning?
Oh, great. Thank you.
Good to see you. So our subject matter today is kind of, oops. I guess we lost Robert. Let's see if he comes back. The subject matter that we're going to be talking about with Robert is pre-planning. And a lot of times people don't like to talk about that. So we wanted to get Robert on here to let us know about it and why it's so important. So let's see if he comes back. So while we're waiting for Robert, I'll cover a few more things happening here at the Joslyn Center. Joslyn Singles with Francie, that's on Thursdays. The next one's coming up October 13th at 1 o'clock. And then after that, meeting with a great group, they go out to a restaurant, and this time it's Fresh Agave Mexican Bar and Grill in Palm Desert. Also, we invite you to come to our farmers market. That's on Fridays, every other Friday. The next one coming up is on October 14th from 8:30 to 10:30. And our book club for October is Killers of the Flower Moon by David Gran, and that is also virtual book club, and that's on Monday, October 10th. So let's see if Robert is back with us. There he is. So Robert, if you turn your camera back on.
There.
There you are.
Yeah, thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know
Okay.
what happened to my computer, but we just left.
So I was letting people know while we're waiting for you to come back that we're going to be talking about pre-planning. And that's pre-planning for funeral arrangements. So tell us why that's so important.
Well, so many people are totally unprepared when they lose someone. And it's the saddest thing that I see day after day, people coming into our facilities, and they have no idea what's going on. They're grieving. There's the last thing they want to do is to be there. And then they're having all this responsibility of making all these decisions. And then they're trying to figure out how to pay for it. And they can spend a good day, a day and a half trying to work this out. But it's very sad to see that. When somebody plans ahead, it just takes one phone call and everything just falls into place. And the financing is already taken care of. For most people, everything is already paid, so there's no bills at the time of passing. But this is spiritual, emotional. And so being in the right frame of mind when your loved one has passed, it makes it so much easier.
So how long have you been doing this? Let's
16 years in the Valley here, since I've been with Farsalon here in the Valley.
So you've counseled how many people?
Thousands and thousands of people.
Okay. So a lot of experience in doing this.
Our people that I work with, they say every time they go somewhere, everybody's asking, "Where's Robert? How's Robert?"
So what's the importance of pre-planning? First, it takes the burden off the family, but also, as I understand it, individuals can decide what they want to do and how they want their final arrangements to be, as opposed to the family maybe bickering or arguing amongst each other what they want to do. Is that one of the features of pre-planning?
Well, it's pre-planning. It's taking care of what you want to do, taking care of your family and yourself, not having someone step in and take over and do what you're not wanting to do. So you need to totally protect yourself. And what happens is the person in charge would be the spouse, your children, adult children, or siblings. Or you can also appoint someone, but if that person is not in the direct line, insurable line, you'd have to have a healthcare directive, which would say this person is in charge instead of the line in your family.
Well, and that's an important point because we live here in the Coachella Valley. A lot of times, couples have come here and retired, and one spouse or partner has passed away. They've met the remaining partner has found someone. They've entered into a relationship with them. Perhaps the family's not too happy about it. So this advanced directive, that's the healthcare directive, and it also applies for them being in charge of the funeral arrangements as well, if there's been advanced planning.
Yes, and then it ends with the funeral or the cremation and goes to the financial part. But if you want to make sure that what you want is going to happen, you need to be very careful about who you appoint. And so that's where the healthcare comes in to actually protect you and what it is that your needs so they're met.
So in terms of the pre-planning, once an individual has made those decisions and that they're paying for, and you can explain to us a little bit what's involved in the pre-planning and how it's paid for, but once that's set down, the family really can't change it.
Well, it's in the cost is frozen once somebody starts on a plan, so it can't go up year after year because the costs double every 10 years nationwide for funerals and cremations. So once you start on a plan, or it can be paid for outright, the cost is frozen permanently. So that's going to protect you. And if you're on a payment plan and you pass away, according to your summary of coverage, the rest of it's going to be paid for automatically. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, that's something I wasn't aware of. And you know, what I tell people is if they think about it, their family or their loved ones are going through grief, they're going through a very difficult time when someone passes. This is doing the pre-planning, taking the time to do that and make those decisions beforehand really is a gift to their family.
Yeah, it's the most loving thing that they could actually do when you think about it. And also, you need to have that conversation with your spouse or loved one. Is there going to be cremation or casket burial? Don't wait until the last minute. You need to make sure that you have what it is that you want. So you need to have those conversations.
And that's an important part of this pre-planning is hopefully people will have those conversations with their family or loved ones, so they'll all be on the same page, for lack of a better word, when the time comes.
Yeah. When people come in, what I do is I'm hospice trained, so I'm trained to listen. But so what I do is explain what the options are and show them, give them estimates, show them what it is, and then they can change it any way they want. They have complete freedom to do what it is, that make their own creation of how they want that to be. There's nothing set in stone as far as what you have to do. It's totally up to the person. The different cultures have different ways that they look at this, and some cultures are almost over prepared, and other cultures hang back, and it's such a private subject that they don't want to talk about it at all. So what my job is speaking with the people, getting them to see what it is that they want, and because this is spiritual, what it is that they want, so that they can have what they envision. So many people put so much into weddings and births and that type of thing, but they tend to forget about that death is part of the life cycle, and that should be celebrated. The celebration of life, however they wish to do that, but it's a very important part of our life cycle.
Now, in the pre-planning, you know, some may think, as I did, that you decide whether it's cremation or burial, and you choose the urn and or the casket and basically. But as I understand it, in talking with you, an individual can pretty much plan their whole memorial.
Yes, they can plan the whole thing out, how they want it to be. They can make it a huge occasion and celebration of life. Lots of times people, like, they'll wear the favorite color of the person to be, to celebrate together and to have solidarity. Or if they were a Dodgers fan, they all wear Dodgers hats. There's no set rule, but the idea is to make sure that that person, that they're celebrated the way that they believe. It's very healing to see what goes on sometimes in some of the celebrations of life.
And one thing you mentioned is that, for the family, again, it's a very difficult time when someone passes away, that all they need to do is call one number, and then Forest Lawn or whoever that they've made their arrangements with take everything on after that.
Yes, we come to pick up, and then it usually takes 2 to 3 days before we can do anything, because the doctor has to say that yes, that he knows the cause of death. And once that happens, we can move forward. What makes us very unique is the fact that we do not contract out. We want to know where that person is at all times, and we want to be, we're responsible. So our crematorium is set up like a living room so the family can come in to say goodbye, because we know it here, but we need to know it here in our heart, and to start the grieving process, because if people do not grieve, they're the ones that we kind of worry about, because it can be a real health issue in the future if they don't do the grieving that needs to be done.
So it sounds like there is a lot involved in this, and people need to begin conversations early with their family, maybe initiate conversations. How would someone contact you to get this started?
Well, they can, you mean just give them my phone number, or
Sure.
how are you saying that? Yeah.
Sure.
Uh, we have a 1-800 number, 204-3131 is our emergency number. My own number is 760-590-3604. And I can answer any questions that you may have, or something that may be troubling you, and you need to know exactly what something means. Another thing I was going to say, that that if someone, lots of times people retire early and their funds are used up by the time they get to a certain age, and they have to go on SSI, and you can only have $2,000 as assets on SSI. Well, a funeral plan, cremation plan, or cemetery property cannot be considered an asset. So, and if somebody's in a court of law and they're trying to sue you and take away something like that, they cannot do that. Anything to do with funerals or cemetery property. A lot of people don't know that. But if somebody goes to the fact they have to go on SSI, we would make the plan irrevocable. So that means that they cannot be touched as an asset.
So these are a lot of very important points, and I'm sure people have a lot of questions. So why don't you give us that phone number once more so they can contact you if they have any?
It's 760-590-3604.
And
my name is Robert Strong.
Robert Strong, and Robert's been doing this for 16 years. So you've probably heard most of the questions.
Yes.
Well, Robert, I want to thank you very much for joining us this morning. Sorry about the technical difficulties a little bit earlier. This is really an important subject, and so many people don't want to talk about pre-planning. And, I know you do our aging mastery course and talk about pre-planning in that course a little bit to help people prepare. And, I can tell you our experience when that first came up is people walked out. They didn't want to talk about it. And I think, the important thing I hope that people understand from our discussion is that it is something to talk about, and it will take a burden not only off you, but off of your family.
I would like to say something. We're having the Veterans Expo at the Salvation Army on Landau Boulevard in Cathedral City tomorrow from like 9 to 2. And for veterans that are out there, we have a special program for them also to get you to Riverside National. That includes the spouse. But there are many different occasions where I go and work and speak. I've been speaking at Lunch and Learns. I am this coming week, I'm going to be at June Hills in 52nd and Jackson in Indio at Trilogy. And we've been doing that all over the valley, speaking and then talking with the people.
And how do people find out about those various speaking events?
Our company sends out postcards throughout the neighborhoods,
Okay.
depending upon the area that we're at, where we
So
are.
if you're going to be in someone's neighborhood, they'll get some notice about that.
Yes,
Okay.
they will.
Well, Robert, I want to thank you for joining us this morning and talking to us about an important subject that most people don't like to talk about.
Exactly.
I really appreciate your spending the time with us.
Thank you very much.
I hope you have a great weekend. This is Friday, Interview Friday with Jack. And to our audience, hope you all have a great weekend, and we'll be talking with you next week. Have a great day. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Thank you, Jack.
Thank you.